time to cut my joists to length. I bought 12-foot lumber to build a 12-foot by 12-foot workshop. There is a bit of a variance between the lengths of these boards, so I have to shave a bit off. I chose a 12-foot square design to get around my local building codes that require any over 12-foot structure to get a framing inspection. I decided to use joist hangers for 2x6 dimensional lumber for extra strength. Well, here I'm doing an experiment with the GoPro on my head just to see what happens. It turns out that I can't really fast forward like a time lapse like I usually do because the camera's so shaky it just gives me a headache. So there's no reason to show every nail, but this is just an example of how to hammer in a joist hanger. I'm using these special number 8 nails that are shorter than usual because they're designed just to go through the thin hanger material into the wood without shooting all the way through the other side of the wood. Here's a trick I'd like to show that I use to square up the building. When you're placing these boards down on the ground, it's really hard to make sure everything's square. I don't really have string lines, there's no concrete, so these boards move as I'm hammering them. I have a ratchet strap and a tape measure long enough to measure the hypotenuse. That's the corner to corner across the middle. As long as you know basic Pythagorean theorem, finding the hypotenuse, all you have to do is match the hypotenuse across basically an X shape. You want the two opposite angles to be the same. So anyone who's done basic framing or joists knows about blocking. This span, this 12-foot dimension, doesn't really need blocking, but these blocks are basically just to support the seams of my insulation. I have styrofoam insulation going in, and I don't want the edges to sag down and have rodents get in between them.